Yeah, just slide right under that, no worries. I'm Jose, I'm an actor and YouTuber. I've been with the festival for 8 years, and just helping out the festival with theater management and red carpet hosting. And welcome to Dance Moves Films 24, everybody! Our moderator tonight will be Dave Rita, who is one of our fantastic alumni, and he's going to be moderating your guys' Q&A tonight.
Okay, while you're voting, let's give it up for the film one more time.
Stephanie up there? I think they think it's right now. Okay, there was the bathroom.
You guys want to go ahead and take turns and introduce yourself and say your name and what you did on the film?
Oh.
Yes. Hello, Devin Rice, writer-director, and I played Brandon.
I'm Jacqueline Rice, I'm the producer, and I play Monica.
I'm Casey and I play Jack.
I'm Mark Benlison. I was the special effects supervisor and I was in the additional voices category.
Hi, I'm Olga Latifidad. I play Riley's mom.
Hi, my name is Jordan Wilson and I play John.
Hi, my name is Kayla Pantaleon, and I play Riley.
Hi, my name is Giselle Torres, and I play Stacy.
I'm Kai Patterson. I was the second AD.
I'm Sandra Santiago, and I play Luna's mom.
I gotta say, you guys are all fantastic. I mean, this movie. I'm sorry. Is this movie? Did you want to talk? You want to talk into a mic?
Go ahead.
Okay. I thought this movie was very stylistic, and it was very your actor and your sound design, your effects choices were very, very important to this film. Do you want to talk a little bit about what it was like to do all that designing?
Yeah, well, the crazy part is I basically did most of that during COVID, so, you know, it was kind of like a crazy kind of cabin fever in a room, just making the VFX and the sound and stuff like that. And it's crazy because, you know, watching the movie over and over again, it's really kind of like, you know, it's insane, right? So watching it over and over again, it's kind of making me feel a little like, Jacqueline knows, right? But, you know, I feel like the movie was like affecting me while I was working on the movie, and so it kind of influenced the work a little bit. But it was intense. It was definitely a lot of work, and, you know, COVID made things pretty difficult. Things shut down, and, you know, things happened during that, and but, you know, we made it through. We got it done.
You have a bunch of great locations in this movie too. Like we saw Queen Mary, we saw so many. How did you were you able to acquire these locations?
Yeah, well, you know, it was pretty wild because originally we were going to shoot at some other locations, and then near the end we were like, you know what, we really want some more epic places. And so Devin and I just went to different places, and Devin was like, oh my God, we should look at the Queen Mary, we should look at just all these different places, and we found these incredible locations, and everyone was just so amazing. We shot at this crazy, like, haunted hospital that you guys saw that was, like, in Pomona with RSI locations. All the actors saw something spooky that happened down there. And one thing that was pretty wild on the Queen Mary, we rented out, like, a ballroom in one of the little areas, and they actually let us guerrilla style shoot through the hallways, because for us to be able to shoot in the hallways, we would have had to pay for half of the ship. And we were a low budget film, there's no way we could pay for half the ship, and we were like, it's only one or two actors like walking down the halls, and like, so they let us do like, okay, if you have like one cameraman and sound, like you could do it, and they let us do it, and it was just pretty insane. We had a like spooky thing happen there where the camera turned when it wasn't supposed to, and there's no way it could have, but it did. And so that was pretty crazy, but we had a lot of amazing locations. Dev and I looked for a little while just to find like the perfect spaces, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, really, it's locations that really help create the environment of your guys' movie, and I think that, I mean, it has so many elements to it. Can you talk a little bit about the inspiration of your movie?
Yeah, well, it's funny, in the beginning, when I first wrote it was just like a fun Halloween movie, so it was like a Halloween short film that I did called Halloween Avenue many years ago. And it was just fun, and then kind of going over the years and just kind of things happened, and I was doing a rewrite, and some friends of mine were actually present during the Las Vegas shooting when it happened. So they were under lockdown underneath, and I was just watching it, and I was kind of just seeing what was happening. And it just really had just a profound effect on me. It was really just, it was just something that I just, knowing my friends were there, and just seeing the horrificness. And so I started writing in the script, and the script kind of got more intense, and I kind of layered those elements in the movie, because I was like, well, why? Why would somebody do something like that? Why would that be? And so it kind of made the movie kind of go from more of a fun movie originally to kind of more intensity, kind of playing with kind of like the psychology of what goes on in the mind of someone who's insane or going insane, or what makes someone want to do that. But the locations really, they kind of came from just basic inspirations of just fun Halloween stuff originally, but it kind of creeped it out with the extra layer there.
Excellent. And to the actors, when you guys got this script, like, did it read the way it played? I mean, like, were you guys just like, this is going to be insane? I mean,
I did. Yes. I read it and I was like, what the fuck?
did you guys all know each other ahead of time?
No.
How did you guys all get together?
I didn't even audition with these guys. I was by myself and I auditioned with other people. They didn't get picked, obviously.
Luckily you did though.
But this group, I'm so happy. Like, let me just come back. It was huge.
It was huge, and we really needed to find the right group of people. And so it's pretty wild casting for like an ensemble that all works well together. And so we had people that we brought in, but then we had people who were like, man, we really like them. I don't know if they're right for it, but let's have them put it on tape. Like freaking Jordan, we love the dude, but we were like, oh, we imagined John a little bit different, but he taped it and we were like, dude, he was fucking fantastic. Yep. We consider him our Harrison Ford, like I told him and so it was pretty wild because we had to do like castings in groups, and then obviously down the line we got closer and closer and closer, and it got down the line with some people like with Casey too. Like I kept telling Devin, I was like, it's fucking Casey, like this is Casey, and he was like, but this other guy too, but like I love Casey, and like so it was like pretty wild, and then we had to like fit people together. And just everyone that came in just killed it. Like everyone that's on this stage right here literally killed it. And there was a process of like a couple auditions and things like that. And everyone did phenomenal. Like
it's quite amazing, especially in the beginning when you got the party scene going. Everybody's chemistry, it seems like everybody's friendly and it really has that vibe. That's really important.
Yes!
Yes!
Well, it was pretty wild because the first day, or the second day basically where we had the whole group together, it was like everyone was instantly best friends. I was like, wow, everyone likes each other, like amazing. And I feel like I think they all still hang out to this day, so.
And like, how was it for your actor? How was it working actually? I know that a lot of effects were done, afterwards. So how was it like working with these special effects that weren't there, or?
There were some effects that were.
I was going to say, in a lot of ways, actually, Mark did a fantastic job on set. And his whole team really, the special effects. Honestly, seeing the after effects was amazing. But even just seeing it in person, that would have been enough. I think you guys did a tremendous job of doing very great practicals. And so we had, explosives and dust everywhere in one instance. I mean, it was a little chaotic. And you saw the film, and Devin did a great job with the after effects as well. But but Mark and his team, and I'll let him speak more to that as well.
Okay, well then as an actor, do you feel like it was easier to give that performance?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. When you're running from something and it's actually exploding, that's a lot easier than you're like, oh, I'm running from something and nothing's happening, you know? And they did a great job of providing that for us as well, so I'll let Mark say something to that.
I just wanna capitalize on everything that was said. The feeling of camaraderie wasn't just with the cast, it was everybody. 2 days before I was actually on set, I was up in San Francisco working for Steve Jobs on his Halloween thing and blowing stuff up and doing what I do. And then 48 hours later, we were in a hallway in a hospital room and we were setting up for it. And when we detonated, 3, 2, 1, boom, and as I recall, he wanted an earth-shattering kaboom. That was exactly what he asked for, that's exactly what he got. It took him 15 minutes to broom out the dust and the smoke, and the cameras kept rolling. And when it was over and they said, God, I stuck my head out and went, too much? They couldn't see for anything.
He's like, no, let's do a little more.
I could always tell that it was Devin's smile. And Devin was smiling from ear to ear. In fact, the last sequence where he's running, and he and Luna are running, and they're remember this? And we had to shoot that 3 or 4 times because Devin, this is Devin, okay? It's my impersonation of Devin, right? Running for his life is supposed to be serious. Here's Devin diving for the camera. The man was having the time of his life, that was I.
And to add to that, it was crazy in the hospital with the first explosion when Riley is trying to shoot Jack. That explosion was so big and it went through like all the halls of the hospital. And we imagine like, with the production, I'm like, yeah, we'll have it clean in like 30 minutes. And as the producer, literally one of the people running the place, we had to literally go to this next area to go shoot. This other girl that ran the location, she was like, it's everywhere. It's in every crevice, it's in everything. We literally had to pay these like the cleaner people. They had to stay overnight for like 12 hours to get this whole thing clean. And then Mark on that day with the fire literally comes and he was like, I have end of days explosions for this other area. And I'm like, oh my God, like how are we gonna clean this whole thing? Literally, Devin and I stayed till like 3 a.m. at that next location, literally just like water pressuring. And it was like, because we were like, we can't afford to pay these guys anymore.
Sorry.
It's okay, talk.
Can we just talk about the time that I had to time the explosion with the wrong?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All I can say is that it was an experience.
Explosion, because like the explosion couldn't happen again, you understand? And I had to do one of these. Okay.
Alright, well, let's turn it up to the audience, I'm sure the audience has some questions for you.
Can we ask Sam one question?
Go ahead and ask her a question.
So how was it? She's crazy girl Lily. So how was it playing Lily and doing all this crazy stuff? You can take it.
It was quite the experience. Honestly, every day it was brilliant being on set. We got so many practical effects and special effects that are happening around us. I had a great team to work with, and honestly, I got lost in the character. I 3 years ago, I can barely remember. It was just so much fun to play. It was, how to explain it? I really tried to delve deep into it. I really tried to like get into Devin and Jack's story here and what they're trying to portray. And I just had the best time. So thank you guys. It was really an honor to be on set.
Quickly to that end, it was
I'm sorry, hold on.
Sorry. To that end, it was great to see performances that we hadn't seen. And a lot of those scenes, Sam do her stuff that we were not privy to because we just weren't on set that day or on location. It was amazing. I always knew that they were talented. It was awesome to see the full extent of that in these performances. Yeah.
We got a question right there.
Yeah, first a comment, it was a fantastic movie and it's actually so wonderful to see such diverse cast of people. But the other thing is, this film seems like a mixture of sort of like the Evil Dead with the Purge, with The Shining, with a bunch of other stuff happening there. And it's so timely because there's a lot of anti-vax stuff happening, COVID stuff happening, but then it seems like you guys actually shot this sometime before COVID, but I wanna hear from the filmmaker because it seems so timely, like right now, some of the stuff that's happening. I mean, like, it seems like all those homeless people in Hollywood Boulevard took those drugs, I don't know. But explain what's going on and how, as you were editing, were you trying to put a lot of these issues that are being addressed right now? Or is this something that actually you wrote some time ago that is timely just now?
Well, I mean, it's definitely something that I wrote a while ago. You know, I mean, it's crazy how things changed kind of when I was making, you know, editing the movie, because we shot it in 2018, the end of 2018, and I was just working on the film, and I put like coronavirus in there as like, you know, ADR. But I mean, it's interesting. It's just kind of a weird coincidence, I guess, that it would kind of just all come together. It was something that I was passionate about talking about just in general, but then it kind of, I guess, took a larger sort of overtone with what's going on now. But it's really just the main point of it was what's going on with kind of like, you know, drugs, not vaccines, nothing to do with that, but with like, you know, certain drugs, like how do we know what's in them? What do we're just taking these things and we're just taking it on faith what it is. And it's like, you know, you see people who have adverse reactions to it and people have good reactions. I don't know, you know, it's just like, what's up with that? And how do we just kind of, you know, it's a little bit conspiratorial, right? It's like, well, what's going on? You know, are they giving us stuff to dull us down or whatever, Matrix or whatever you want to call it, but, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing that it all kind of coincidentally just became that more of the conversation over the last like year and a half.
I feel like that's one of the topics of the film, but your film kind of deals with a bunch of conspiracies going on. You've got a bunch of things going on.
Yeah, because you know, I found it interesting. I was like, you know, I was just, you know, delving into the internet. You know, when you go to the internet, you just kind of fall down a rabbit hole of, well, you know, MK Ultra and what if, you know, these mass murders and conspiracies, all these kind of things. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. I mean, it makes an interesting story, interesting horror. And we actually went to a horror convention before the movie, and making the movie, and we asked a bunch of horror fans what they wanted to see, and they're like, psychological, you want to see psychological, messed up movies. I was like, okay, psychological, okay, well, all right, MK Ultra is interesting, and, you know, drugs, and, okay, let's just do that. And I kind of delved more into that, and so that kind of fueled me to make it even more insane, just knowing that a bunch of horror fans were saying that we want psychological movies right now, so. Yeah.
You can definitely tell you guys are horror fans by watching this.
Definitely.
Do we have any other questions out there? I think I see a hand. Yep, I do. Right there.
Can I ask, how much was your budget for this? I'm just curious.
I mean, the budget, we actually spent, I think right about like $680,000 about. But then, you know, basically then working on the movie for a year or two for free. You know, so there's that also on top of that, but yeah.
It's all paid in the salary. I'm super
Yeah.
Can I say one other thing too? I want to say the acting in this movie was totally incredible.
Hello, Stephanie?
Kendall, Steph?
No, oh,
The rest of our cast is not up here. What? Stop. Kendall and Stephanie.
they're shy again. Okay, looks like there's a question up there.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, sorry about that.
Do you want to do this?
No.
You're really, I mean, you're producing me over here. Does anybody have any questions of whether or not she's a great producer? She's producing me.
I
Alright, question right there. Okay?
The question, it's more of, what you had at the beginning, when you said it was like psychological, and if you weren't prepared. I love horror movies, and I was stressed from the beginning all the way to the end.
I think that's what you were going for, right? I think that's what you were going for, right?
Yeah. Well, it was really funny because we did like a couple test screenings with like some people that were big horror fans, and there was one girl that literally left the theater right after that warning. Because she was like, I'm not gonna do this, like, it's just way too bad. We're like, I wonder if anyone's gonna leave, like.
I love that warning. I actually, I mean, I wanted you guys to plant some people just to leave right on that warning.
Totally.
Right here?
Well, the full title is Part 1, so what's up with Part 2?
That was gonna be my last question, but we'll do it now.
And why was there no trailer?
I know.
Well, I don't want to say too much about part 2, but there's definitely, after this happens, you know, it's definitely not the end. There's definitely more that goes on afterward. I don't want to say anything, but I don't want to spoil it, but definitely, you know,
there's so many ways you can go with it. I mean, yeah, that's the beautiful part of it, is you did leave it open to be able to totally tell a totally different story or keep up with them. It's up to you.
I would imagine there's gonna be more red shattering balloons.
Well, if you're saying smiling to your ear, I'm pretty sure that your job's pretty safe.
I just wanna mention, it was pretty amazing, this guy worked on Terminator 2.
You may have heard that movie. You might have heard it. You got a question right there.
Yeah, for Devin, what was the biggest takeaway or a couple of takeaways from this movie that you learned while making it that you're gonna, and how you're gonna apply that to your future movies?
Well, I mean, there's quite a bit, but definitely, you know, this is my first time making a movie like this large, you know what I mean? So it was definitely like something that I wasn't necessarily, I didn't expect it to be this big. I mean, I wrote the script and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's just explosions and all kind of crazy shit. I'm like, yeah, and then we get to the movie, making the movie, I'm like, oh shit, like I mean, it's funny because when I made Being Black Enough, my prior movie, I just shot with basically natural light, right? So on my first day on set, the cinematographer Mikey's like, hey, we have to flip the world with this, like this way. I'm like, we need light this way. And we just like set it up naturally and
He was like, what do you mean it takes 15 minutes to switch?
I know, and I'm like, holy shit, because like I crazily planned the first days when we shot in the house, we did 15 pages. If you're a filmmaker, we did 15 pages a day, which is nuts. It's crazy. So it was just like playing catch up while we were doing it. So now it's like, okay, I kind of got the feel for what these larger movies would be and what it would take, and I see why people work with studios on certain things and all that kind of stuff, and having certain resources and all that kind of stuff, and then also just not having to do everything in post and, you know, but COVID definitely, you know, threw a wrench in there, but in general, we can see definitely things that we can improve on, for sure.
I also just want to give a shout out to our cinematographer, Mikey, who was killed it. Yeah, it was an insane shoot, and he went along for the ride, and just want to say, awesome job, dude.
All right, you guys are awesome. Congratulations again, and let's give it up for the film one more time. If you can find a spot, just sign the poster.
Okay, I also want to say, if you guys want, we're going to Cabo Wabo. It's a restaurant right on the next level for the after party. Everyone's free to join. And of course, if you can't vote, you just point it at the camera, or point your camera there, and you put your little code in, because it helps us with winning the audience award or anything like that. Okay, guys? Thank you guys so much. This was awesome. It's a dream come true for us to see our film on the big screen, so I really appreciate everyone coming out tonight, especially with the circumstances with COVID and everything. We love you guys. Thank you so much.